Yeah, opening logos, blah, blah, blah. But can we talk about how in addition to this 90 seconds of previously on and logoing that we also end with over 4 minutes of credits? That's almost 6 minutes of not WandaVisioning. Now I have to do math every time I look at the runtimes on D+ and figure out if I actually do have time to squeeze an episode in before my Friday colonic. And it's hard to work that out sometimes. Oh yes, let's pretend that last night Wanda would expand the boundaries of her hex to save Vision, but then not actually go find him and ensure that he's alive. Setting aside that Uno isn't even a video game, it was only invented about 5 years before the Atari. Why not go with Pong controllers? That had been around in some form since the 60s. Even if you don't do video games, go with a paddle ball or marbles or regular old playing cards. I'm just saying, when thinking about how many choices you had here, you certainly had more than Uno.
Mom, my head feels weird. It's like really noisy. I don't like it.
Resting her eyes.
Ignoring a clear sign that your child is in need of supernatural medical attention.
I plan on taking a quarantine-style staycation.
Sorry, Wanda, you don't get to call a pleasant break away from your kiddos a quarantine. Not in 2021, you don't. You never even put on a mask. Sure, jokes, hardy-har, but everyone else's clothes have changed, and even your hair is different. I get that someone is producing all this, but we've also been led to believe that the anomaly itself changes material things to match the era automatically, so we should clearly be in pajama territory here. Aha! Cane Cola, more clues. This is obviously a reference to Scrooge McDuck, who walks with a cane. Come on, Disney, these tie-ins are getting to be a bit much. On a completely unrelated note, I wonder if Cane Cola comes in a 6-pack. Also, where's the food? There are 2 shelves here dedicated to beverages alone. Where are the leftover containers? And yes, I know Vision doesn't eat, but you had your bushels of fruit in the 80s, so at least throw some Lunchables in here. Listen, if you're going to use the box for clever metaphors like Vision starting at the edge of town at a circus and needing to get to the center of town to his wife, or calling it Sugar Snaps in reference to the Infinity Snaps, why not use all the box for cleverness? Unless, of course, repeating these nutrients 4 times in a row is a clue, which it isn't. Also, where's the riboflavin? A simple moment that is absolutely my favorite from this episode. With the milk changing from milk from 1950, I would have sent it if you didn't give it the quick smell test. But you did, and I smiled. Dang it, Elizabeth, stop being so good at this. Lying. Setting unrealistic beauty standards. My God, who wakes up looking this good? No one. Okay? No one. Hidden Mickeys.
Can I help you, Creeper?
You don't remember me from last night?
Who's the real creeper here? Vision's been passed out in a field all night, and all you f***ers are just out here clowning around. What Wii game is this? And how is this interface even a 2-player game? Also, setting up your Wii without the sensor bar in place. Also, this is a terrible place for your TV. Who puts the TV in the middle of the room with 2 chairs facing away from the television? Also ×3. This is some of the worst cord management I've ever seen. Apparently this is plugged into the floor somehow, and then you just threw the mess of cords out in full view? Find a wicker basket for that, you cord jumbling chaos monsters.
Vision is made of vibranium. They literally inherited tough skin.
Assuming to understand the complexity of the genetics of your children when they were born in a fake sitcom in a fantasy universe. Agnes is in full stride here, meaning she knocked on the door and took about 6 steps back to strut on in. I'm a little impressed, but mostly annoyed.
What? I'll be fine. Just go with Agnes.
Parenting. I mean, my parents once left me with a family of strangers in LA so they could attend a taping of The Price is Right, and I'm still here. And so very well adjusted. So.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Our conversations with ourselves every day of the past pandemic year somehow make it into the script. The most unbelievable thing in this email from Darcy is that in the rushed moments to get this to them, she took the time to properly punctuate each letter in the terrible SWARD acronym. I didn't even do this in this subtitle, and I had plenty of time. It's just that, as any woman can attest to, having to deal with constant periods is extremely annoying.
Did we get your specs right?
Yes, and within 1 day, the well-known efficiency of governmental agencies comes through again. Fool the guesser games. Yes, please tell me how old you think I am and how much you think I weigh. Can we go to the would you like to get kicked in the balls or punched in the booth next, please?
And who is that imposter Pietro?
Vision is like the 3rd person already in this episode to plot tease us with this question, and we get it, Marvel. Another big reveal is coming. At this point, you're building it up so much I'd be disappointed if Pietro isn't revealed in the final shot as Hugh Jackman flipping the middle claw and dropping an F-bomb at a local Westview bar.
You're not supposed to talk.
Considering we never once hear the interviewers in Modern Family, the sitcom this episode is mostly based on, I think Wanda has a point here, and therefore would be excellent at TV sins.
A unique antidepressant that works to anchor you back to your reality. Or the reality of your choice.
Get it? Multiple realities? You could even call them virtual realities. It's clear now with this and the video games earlier that Wanda is going to create Nexus, which, as we all know, will be the name of a virtual reality headset where she and super horny Vision can have lots of sex. Guys, I'm getting super good at picking up on these Easter eggs.
She's gonna sail right through, unharmed.
Obvious, overconfident, premature celebration is premature and obvious.
I can get through.
And I won't be needing this anymore.
So, Wanda killed me?
A full minute rehashing a moment we already saw in the movie being referenced. I didn't realize the infinity in Infinity War referred to how long Marvel would continue to refer back to it in its properties. Take a lesson from your own show, Marvel. Move on already.
Oh, man, another red light? Overkill out in the sticks here, don't you think?
Overkill, eh? Maybe a little insensitive to the guy who just learned he was killed twice? Superhero is an obvious superhero because they know how to land in a superhero pose, cliché.
All you do is lie!
But wouldn't Wanda be slightly interested in how Monica is showing up in sword gear that hadn't been altered on its way through the Hex? Which reminds me, why weren't her clothes transported like everything else coming through? Monica herself is a superhuman now, but are her clothes?
What am I doing here? Sitting, talking to you?
Great question. And honestly, this has been building for a while, but how does the timing of any of this make any sense? Most of this stuff has been shown to be really happening. So when was this recorded and why does it take place in sequence with him flying out of the truck? What is happening when and why and how and where and when does Deathstroke finally show up?
Who's been messing up everything?
It's been Agatha all along.
Nice! This show is super fun, and Catherine Hahn is a treasure, and I'm so glad she's getting to shine here. There are plenty of reasons I could remove another sin for WandaVision, but this one is for Hahn. Solo.
That you haven't even noticed.
We did. Everyone did.
And I killed Sparky, too.
Bragging about dog murder. This screen, not only does it taunt me every week, it's taken me until this episode to finally realize it's not saying there will be a mid-credit scene. So this week, I'll finally turn off the show and not stick around hoping for a scene that never shows up. Can you imagine if they waited till the 7th episode to do any kind of mid-credit scene? Good thing that would never happen.
Your aura is purple! Free pillow pet is so...
Let's take a Winston break.
Have a glorious...
Commercials.
He likes it!
You can taste.
Wanted hair?
It's more fun. So many
For only 99.
commercials. What the hell? No, who cares? God, so many freaking commercials.
Soldiers clear. From basic menu, it tastes like a...
It's getting I'm getting really upset. Freaking tired.
They're magically delicious!
Zip, zero, zip.
Zip it good.
I actually did bite a kid once.
I know that babies taste best.
I see dead people.
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going.
Ray, bring back the balance, Ray, as I did.
In the night. And I killed...
Your little dog, too!